sound check. Might say your name.
Rachael, Lowe.
Laketek.
Perfect.
Hello again. Welcome back. Rachael Lowe with somm.tube, and we have Laketek of Salumi, Chicago. We're excited to be tasting through 3 Salumi, and I'm very much looking forward to talking through all of the details with you, Greg. And we have 3 pairings for each of these Salumis, which we think might be perfect. So,
Great.
Greg, go ahead, please introduce
Yeah,
yourself.
so I'll talk to you a little bit about Salumi, Chicago. It came from West Loop Salumi. I trained out in Emilia Romagna to make Salumi back in 2010. And came back to Chicago and said, okay, well, I'm going to start the first Salumificio Salumi company in Illinois, and so this is exactly what we are. We don't use any sugar or dextrose. We use wine for fermentation. So our salami pairs very well with various types of wine. Not using sugar or dextrose allows us to have a different texture, a different flavor profile, and really be able to work well with a lot of different types of producers of wine. And I just love wine, so it makes sense.
Now, it's cool that you officially went and studied and immersed yourself and really came back with all the knowledge that you have. Not everyone does that. And the fact that you're using Italian, very good Italian wine as part of the process is really amazing. That sets you apart. So what do we have here?
So right here we're going to pair our Finocchiona as a fennel salami, toasted fennel pollen, fennel seed, wine, salt, pepper. Tartufo is a fresh truffle salami with truffles from Norcia, Italy, and then a Barolo salami made with Barolo red wine, salt, and pepper.
Well, why don't I want to hear more about your production, but should we taste through the Finocchiona first?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So Rachel and I discussed off camera about what we thought would pair the best with the Finocchiona, and this wine definitely came straightforward at us and said yes, definitely. So tell us a little bit about this.
So this is Schiopetto from the Collio. This is Sauvignon Blanc. It's really beautiful, 2018 vintage. As you'll see, the bottle shaped as kind of an Alsatian shaped bottle, and that's because of the Alsatian influence to this region. So a lot of the grapes in higher altitude, Collio, Alta Adige, that kind of northeastern Italian region, has a lot of white wine, aromatic white grapes that grow very well at that altitude. In this case, it's Sauvignon Blanc, and it's a beautiful expression of Sauvignon Blanc. It's all stainless steel fermented, so it's just pure Sauvignon Blanc aromas. And when Greg and I were talking about this, Finocchiona has a certain amount of phenol, and we'll talk about this particular variation, right? Yours, but when we tasted them together, we thought it was pretty harmonic. But I'll leave. You should talk about the salami first.
Sure. So the salami Finocchiona, toasted fennel pollen, fennel seed. Little story about me and making Finocchiona is, growing up, I had Italian sausage as a kid, and I really hated biting into that spicy fennel corn or fennel seed, and it really ruined that great fennelly Italian sausage for me. So I decided to source my fennel from Egypt because it was a little bit sweeter. And so those who aren't, in particular, don't like fennel, they might like our Finocchiona because of that reason. It's a little bit sweeter, a little bit softer than the harsh Italian fennel. So we use that, we toast the spices, we toast the fennel pollen, releases the oils, then we grind it right before production so that you have that huge fennel flavor, but it's not too spicy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's try it.
Yeah.
And discuss the wine with the. Thank you. This beautiful salumi. To start, I like smelling the fennel. You can tell that the fennel pollen is so clear I mean, it's so aromatic. And this wine too is super aromatic. So we've got, I mean, it's very classic Sauvignon Blanc in its expressive aromatic nature. It's got a little bit of that lemon and lime pith, a little bit of grapefruit,
Yeah,
slight tropical notes, right?
completely.
Yeah, but underripe like tropical.
A little buttery.
Yeah, it's viscous on the palate, but really bracing acidity at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think there's an herbal component to it, which I think works really well with the fennel. So
Nailed it.
let's eat that. It somehow makes the fennel shine. Like there's herbal qualities. It's not exactly the same, but they complement.
shine, it makes it bright.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's really awesome together. And the acid cuts through the richness of the sausage, or the salumi sausage, pardon. The salumi.
So this producer is from the northern region of Italy. You said northeast.
Yeah, Collio.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically you're looking Alto Adige area, basically.
Got it.
Yeah, so wonderful.
Fun story, we flew into Milan once and I didn't think I needed directions. I was trying to go south to Parma and we started seeing the Alps.
Yes.
I know where that is.
The classic reverse opposite direction situation. So should we go on to the Barolo
Let's go to
base?
Barolo,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Barolo is our most mild salami. If you look at our ingredients, it just says pork, wine, salt. So,
Very cool.
yeah, very, very, very simple. Our pork is from Pennsylvania. It's a heritage breed pork of Duroc and Berkshire. They are free-to-roam certified, non-GMO, no antibiotics ever, every call out that you want, but they're family-owned co-ops. So family-owned farms that do nothing but give their pigs the best life ever.
That's so important.
Yeah, and then we use some really good wine to season it and really great salt from Sicily, and that's the product.
But that's Italian food at its
Exactly.
core, right? Like it's very simple, but it's focusing on the very best ingredients.
Right.
Basically, simplified. The interesting thing here is that I innately went, this is Barolo wine-based sausage, salumi. Sausage.
It's a sausage.
It
It's
is,
just
I
dried.
guess,
It's a
it's
dried
so
salami.
salumi.
It's dried sausage.
Yeah, so I kept thinking, well, we're going to do red wine with this. But when we tasted red wine with it, it was kind of overpowering to the salumi itself. So Greg and I spoke a little bit about certain other wines that might work, and we actually both agreed that this Arnaise was a perfect pairing for it, and ideal that way. So the Arnaise is, generally speaking, it's from Piedmont in Italy, northern Italy, and it's an aromatic varietal, and I guess I think it's just kind of starting to get recognized as a varietal in the U.S. Or more understood as to being something that should be appreciated, but very aromatic, high acid, in the direction of a Sauvignon Blanc, but different, if you will. Like how would you
Sure.
describe the nose?
I love how you said it's from the Piedmont because what you said earlier, goes together, grows together.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
Barolo from the Piemonte region. So it just makes sense that these would go together because they do have those similar qualities.
Yeah, that's a good point. So there's like a little bit of orange rind on this, or like just clementine like zest is what I'm thinking. And there is a certain amount of like stone fruits, like a little bit of apricot or
a
something.
little bit of pepper, but
Pepper, yes. But the fruit on the palate is so delicious. So this is the Ghiomo Arnaise. This is from the Longue 2019 vintage. And this is a small family that's producing this wine, and I've always loved what they make. So really good pairing with the Barolo. Shall I try?
The Barolo, please.
Oh, thank you. It's so delicate.
So we try to make sure that the pork and the quality of the ingredients really shine through. So it's an all natural product, and you can really taste that it's all natural.
Yeah, because I've had salumi before that just seems very hard or very processed, or doesn't have a soul. And
Right.
all these, it's kind of
That's why I went to Italy.
makes sense.
So yeah, that's not what I want to process.
Yeah, and this is so good. The
This
Arnaise is actually really
It's
perfect.
delicious.
I wouldn't want a red, I don't think, with this, unless it was a super light, less tannic, acidic
Yeah.
red,
Maybe something from Morgon or something.
Yeah, or like Ruque, Grignolino, something like
Sure.
that. Fresa, maybe? Yeah. This is that. But I really love this.
Me too.
Arnaise is great. So Tartufo is our last salumi for the day.
Yes. Black truffles. So one of our good friends brings truffles into Chicago from Italy, and
The siren is
Oh.
beating to the mics. Sorry, guys.
got it.
No, that makes
I
sense.
thought you didn't want me to talk about where I
Stop
got the
it.
truffles.
No trouble. No trouble.
Do not talk truffles. Is it legal? All right.
So let's go to the final salumi, which looks really
Tartufo.
exciting.
Yeah. So one of my good friends brings truffles into Chicago from Italy every week, and we source our truffles from him. These truffles come from Norcia, Italy. We use truffles, pork, wine, salt. Very simple.
Yeah.
And it's really just the quality of the truffles that shines through. We use a lot of truffles, more truffles than any other truffle salami producer uses. And the reason that I know that is because the USDA actually makes you tell each person how much truffle you use in the
Are you
salami.
serious? It breaks down the.
So we use 3.4 grams of truffles per salami.
Oh, that's crazy.
Crazy,
Yeah.
because you'll never see that in any other truffle producer, because they'll either use truffle oil, truffle salt, truffle flavoring, but
Yeah. No salumi producer, whatever. Like, not
Exactly.
Ever get that close? That's
Right.
really awesome. Well. So speaking
wait.
of what grows together goes together, we decided that Barolo from Piemonte or Piedmont would work perfectly with this Tartufo salumi. So one of my favorite producers here is the Ettore Germano, the Tretta Barolo 2015. So Sergio this has been family run for multiple generations, and Sergio Germano is currently the head of the winery, and he's really lovely. I've met him a few times, and I've met his kids over Zoom. But yeah, he comes to town occasionally and is just like very stoic and cool. But I think his expression of Nebbiolo is really terroir driven and bridges this perfect, like, harmonious dance between like earth and fruit. So I think that it's just balanced. The 2015 is drinking really well right now, and very expressive, and that's why I thought, with the Tartufo here, it would be good because there's like that truffly note to it, and obviously
Yeah.
you get truffles from Piedmont and Barolo from Piedmont, so like you said. It
perfect.
makes sense. So,
Yeah.
Cheers. That's so good.
It's really good.
I know.
If you like, we're out to dinner together.
I know. It's like,
So, a little bit about the taste and flavoring about our salami is, like I said before, we don't use any sugar or dextrose. So you'll notice that the salami isn't very sour or acidic or rubbery or hard. And it's not going to be that way just because of the length of time that we age or because we pulled it early or anything like that. It's because sugar and dextrose acts as a binder, and it also drops the pH really fast. So we actually we ferment for a lot longer, about a few days longer than any other producer would with sugar or dextrose. And what happens is you develop these flavor enhancing bacteria. And a lot of people say, "Oh, is that from Italy?" No, it's not from Italy, but we ferment it a lot longer, so you think it is, and it develops those bacteria that you experience thinking that it came from Italy.
natural.
Cocuria and Pediococcus
Yeah. Oh, wow.
are the bacteria that's developed.
Amazing. Yeah.
But please try it.
Okay. Thank you. I mean, this is so perfect together. Well, thank you everyone for joining, and thank you, Greg, for hanging out and tasting wine and sharing your awesome salumi with us from Salumi, Chicago.
Of course.
And we will look forward to seeing you next time.